In this remote area of northwest Scotland's wild and windy coast, 600 miles from London and further north than Moscow, lies a horticultural surprise, a subtropical garden. The village of Pullew is at first sight a very unlikely place to find a botanical gem. It is situated at the end of Loch Ewe, sheltered on all sides by a spectacular landscape of mountains and hills. It is bathed in waters warmed in the Gulf of Mexico and transported north to the west coast of Scotland by the Gulf Stream current. The garden was the vision of one man, Osgood Mackenzie, and latterly his daughter Mary. Osgood's father was Sir Francis Mackenzie, 12th Laird of Gairloch. The Mackenzie clan was prominent in the northwest Scotland. A charter by King David II in 1362 granted Kintail to the Mackenzies. They added further to their lands when the Lord of the Isles forfeited MacDonald land in the 15th century. The original Elandonnan Castle in Kintail was for some time the Clan Mackenzie base. Osgood's mother was Mary Hanbury, daughter of a wealthy brewing and banking English family. Osgood was brought up by his mother at the Mackenzie family home in Gairloch after his father died in 1843. In 1862, when he was 20, his mother helped him purchase the 12,000-acre estate of Inverewe and Cairnsarry. It was here he built a mansion and set about creating a garden on a grand scale. On this unprepossessing, barren and exposed land, Osgood established shelter belts of native and Scandinavian pines. After about 20 years, he was able to remove some of the more common plants and trees to allow the exotic species space to grow. He built a walled garden on what had once been a raised beach by removing tons of stones and importing soil and peat. In spring, the walled garden is perhaps a little disappointing, but by late summer it is transformed to its full glory. On the estate land surrounding the house, Osgood created woodland walks. He collected plants on his foreign travels, as well as buying them from English, Irish and French nurseries. Osgood's fascination with rare and exotic plants led to him experimenting to see whether they would survive at Inverewe. By the 1890s, he was celebrating success with palms, tree ferns and eucalyptus trees, all growing just as successfully as in the gardens of Cornwall or the Isle of Wight or in greenhouses at Kew Gardens in London. Osgood would have been delighted to know that today the collection includes the rare and endangered Wollemi pine, thought to have been extinct for 2 million years until discovered in Australia in 1994. Rhododendrons were particularly suited to Inverewe's climate, and it has been claimed at least one is in flower in any month of the year. May and June are the best months to visit to enjoy the blooms at their best. Don't miss visiting the ponds designed and constructed by Mary, Osgood's daughter. Osgood transferred Inverewe estate to Mary in 1915. Mary was an excellent plantswoman, and she steadily put her own stamp on the garden. Some sections were renamed with planting focused on regions of the world. New planting areas were also created. Osgood Mackenzie died suddenly in 1922 after a fall. He's buried in Gairloch near his late mother. The original baronial-style mansion house was destroyed by fire in 1914. In the mid-1930s, Mary and her second husband built the present house on the ruins of the original one. Sadly, Mary was widowed for a second time in 1945. In 1952, Mary gave Inverewe to the National Trust for Scotland, together with a substantial endowment for the garden's future upkeep. Mary died unexpectedly in 1953, a year after her bequest to the National Trust for Scotland. After your visit round the garden, there is an opportunity for you to purchase a memento of your visit before you leave. Perhaps a blue agapanthus, one of Mary's favourite flowers.